All right, when Vince gave me the list of DVDs today, he said, not going to be a great DVD day. And unfortunately, he's right. All right, we've got Larry Crowne, Griff the Invisible, The Tree, Saint Misbehavin', and then one surprise at the end that's out on Blu-ray. I just got a Blu-ray. Do you guys have Blu-ray? I just got a Blu-ray. Do you have one? No? Do you have a Blu-ray, Pete? They make a huge difference. I was really surprised. I was kind of skeptical because I thought this is just one more way of getting people to buy something that they don't really need. Because you can play regular DVDs on a Blu-ray, but you can't play Blu-ray on a regular DVD. So they're not very expensive. They're $80 or something. So, but I was surprised how much difference it makes. The sound quality is better, and even when you're playing regular DVDs. So kind of surprised. I'm a little skeptical about those things. At any rate, I'll tell you the Blu-ray surprise at the end. Larry Crowne. This was Tom Hanks and Julia Roberts. It's supposed to be an adorable romantic comedy about a guy who's working at U-Mart. Get it? U-Mart, wink, wink. Loses his job. Tom Hanks plays every man, kind of dumbed down. He was playing Forrest Gump, I guess, with a little bit more intelligence. He goes back to school because he's being downsized and he doesn't have a college education. So he decides to go take some college courses, and guess who his teacher is going to be? You got it, Julia. Who's teaching an informal communication course. Now, if you don't have a college degree and you're going back to school to be able to better your job prospects, would you really take a course in informal communication? No, you wouldn't. You could take that at the local adult education. But at any rate, would you pay money if you were out of work? No, you wouldn't, but never mind. George Takei plays an economics professor who's actually terrific because you'd actually get a college credit for that. Cedric the Entertainer plays the next door neighbor. But this is basically supposed to be a Tom Hanks and Julia Roberts vehicle. But Julia Roberts is so unpleasant in this one. She drinks. She's married to a guy that she's supporting. It was written by Nina Vardalos, who did My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and apparently knows Rita Wilson, who makes a cameo appearance in this. And actually, she's kind of cute. I just thought the movie didn't work at all. You don't like Julia. Tom can't really find he's an appealing actor and he's got an appealing face, and we all know, the Tom Hanks-ism, but I don't think it worked. And there's probably a good movie about second chances somewhere, but it certainly wasn't this one. I gave it 1.5 stars, which is not good. Griff the Invisible. This one starts out as an Australian version of Spider-Man, with a kid who's bullied at work and bullied by his big brother as well, and he fights people in a suit that he thinks makes him look like Batman, but he decides he needs to be invisible because he's being hassled. His big brother's girlfriend believes if you rearrange all the molecules and you line them up just correctly, then you can actually move through space. So she keeps banging her head against the wall, and we're supposed to view this as incredibly funny. The two that decide that they're really kindred spirits, even though this is his brother's girlfriend. So he decides to make an invisible suit, which he thinks makes him invisible, except everybody can actually see him. And in the suit, he stomps the bully at work, gets fired, gets beaten up. His girlfriend decides to make him a real invisibility suit. Are you falling asleep, aren't you? Good. He isn't really about superheroes, it's about finding someone of a like mind that sees you the way that you really see yourself. Okay. The problem is that the first 3/4 of the movie is about a kind of schlumpy superhero, which is kind of appealing. But he's not really a superhero. But the people in it are not, I don't think it worked. And you don't really care about any of the characters. And to sit through a movie for 2 hours with people that you don't particularly care about, I guess it's supposed to be a love story or something. And it was trying to be kind of offbeat and charming. I think it failed. It'll do okay on DVD, maybe. But in the theaters, 1.5. I think it made like $12. The Tree. I know, this is painful. You guys, you can take a nap. Reggie, if this is your most painful experience, go ahead and take a nap. I'll understand it. It's a well-meaning movie, and it's about grief, which is a really important subject. It's got a good cast, headlined by Charlotte Gainsbourg, who is the one who is terrific in Melancholia. She's probably the only face or person that you'll recognize. She plays a woman who's in love with her husband who has a heart attack. He does, and dies. In addition to being a sexy soulmate, he was a great father. She has a hard time recovering. Her kids seem neglected because she just can't get out of her own grief. And the little girl decides that her dad is really living in the tree. Apparently this is based on a couple of books, The Baron in the Tree and Our Father Who Art in the Tree. Both stories have the central figure of a tree, and they decided to combine them. The tree is actually gorgeous. It's irritating to me as a psychologist to watch a mother who is so incredibly self-indulgent. And I understand that she's grieving, but she just completely abandons her kids, to the extent that she puts her entire family in jeopardy. So on the basis of, Charlotte is a great actress and an appealing actress, but I guess part of it is being a psychologist, that issue of just the super indulgent in abandoning your kids just doesn't work very well for me, and making her a heroine because of it. So also 1.5 stars. Okay, we're finally getting something that's getting a little more stars. Do you know who Wavy Gravy was? Do you guys know? I didn't either. He's a man who decided to make the world a better place. And the point about this movie is he make the impact one person can have and hope to connect, that each of us can make a difference while keeping our sense of humor. He's known as the MC at Woodstock, a hippie icon, clown, and even a Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavor. Who knew? We meet a true servant to humanity who carries his message through humor, compassion, a song he calls Basic Human Needs. It weaves together verite footage, reflections from a lot of cultural and countercultural people, and a whole bunch of archival footage to tell a story that's bigger than the man himself. He apparently was originally a stand-up comedian, then he was a protester. He was a friend of Lenny Bruce and Bob Dylan and started the Hog Farm. Did you guys know about this? I didn't either. Was people who fed everybody at Woodstock. It's really a remarkable story of a man who's now in her 70s who just keeps saying, can't we all just get along? He's really an unrepentant hippie. He's probably down at the protest. He's a pleasure to watch, and he really does make you believe that one individual, through just a commitment, can change the world. I gave this one 3.5 stars. This probably appealed to my hippie heart. All right, the DVD surprise that's out on DVD is West Side Story. This is a great musical. The one on Broadway didn't do it justice, the revival. But this is Jerome Robbins at his best. Natalie Wood, George Chakiris, Richard Beymer. If you have you guys ever seen the original movie West Side Story? I thought the revival kind of sucked. I like the opening scene. I like the dancing, but I thought the characterizations and making part of it in Spanish I didn't quite get. All right. Well, so get her the Blu-ray for Christmas. Absolutely stocking stuffer. Da-da-da-da. Well, she likes it because Maria. There we go. Have you seen have you seen it, Mark? And the original was great. Alrighty. So West Side Story, definitely yes, great stocking stuffer. Believe it or not, Saint Misbehavin' is kind of a feel-good movie about individuals making a difference, which I always like. The Tree, not so much. Griff the Invisible, limited. Larry Crowne. These are all okay DVDs, but I would either stick with Saint Misbehavin' or Maria in the West Side Story. 800-544-7070. I'm Dr. Joy Browne.